Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Mr. Duckworth here, and today, I'm bringing a new video. We're just gonna be talking about basketball. Obviously, it's the first couple games, so we're just gonna be talking about what we see. First thing I'm gonna be talking about is the Portland Trail Blazers, currently 4-0, with two good wins over the Suns and the Nuggets. They beat the Nuggets last night. Anthony Simons had 22 in the third quarter, which he scored between the 10-minute mark and the 4-minute mark, so it was really only 6 minutes he scored 22. But yeah, Dame had 30 in that game. Ant had 29. Overall in the season, Dame has 33 points per game. Ant's averaging 20. Jeremy Grant's averaging 17. Nurkic is averaging 12 and 12. Josh Hart is averaging a triple-double. Of course, we're only 4 games into the season, so those numbers are going to change, but a great start to the season by the Trailblazers. I think a lot of people, including myself, underestimated them. They're a really good team so far this year. I believe they're the last undefeated team. Let me just check that real quick. Well, the Bucks are undefeated at 2-0, but they've played 2 games. Trailblazers have played 4. Um, all right. So let's get into our next team, which is the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden has been amazing for them. Um, and I believe it has been mostly off of his touches. I saw something, it was before last night, before their first win against the Pacers, I believe. Yeah, they beat the Pacers last night. But this season, Harden's touches has been over 100 touches per game, and Embiid wasn't even second on the team in touches. He was third with around 70. And Joel Embiid should really have the offense run through him. At least that's what I believe. He was second in MVP voting last year. He's an amazingly talented player, but he has been struggling this year from the field, so maybe that's why they're waiting to run it through him until he starts heating up again. But also something with Embiid. This has been a thing with Embiid, and for some reason, I don't know why, I was really hoping it would change this year, but it hasn't. His effort getting back on defense. Now, Joel Embiid, when he's back on defense, he is a pretty good defender. Um, but with that being said, he doesn't get back on defense most of the time. A lot of the times when Joel Embiid has the ball on offense, he'll throw something up, flop on the ground, and lay there for the entire possession on defense. So, Embiid, if he fixes up how he's been on defense, they could start winning some of these closer games. All right, on to the Denver Nuggets. Really, my only thing here is they haven't. I don't want to say they're not as good as we thought they were, but they're not. Um, they haven't gotten into their rhythm yet. They haven't adjusted well to Jamal Murray being back, with Jokic and MPJ and everyone being back. Plus, they had a big roster turnover this year, changed a lot of guys. Um, so yeah, there's that. Jokic had a really bad game last night. Uh, got only played 20 some minutes because he got into foul trouble. Had 9, 9, and 9. Only took 4 shots. That's you cannot have that from Jokic and expect to be a good team. Now, of course, it's an off night. They called an off night for a reason. It happens. Everyone has off nights. But one good thing to see is, even though he had an off night, he was in foul trouble, he was still able to impact the team when he was out there on the court with those 9 rebounds, getting 9 assists, shooting efficiently. But you can't have that if you're a Nuggets fan. Alright. Now on to the most interesting part of this. The Los Angeles Lakers. Who would have thought that Lonnie Walker would be the 3rd best player on that team this year? He's averaging 15 points on pretty bad shooting splits. I believe he's 40 from the field and like 17 from 3. Anthony Davis and LeBron, they're doing their thing. Would like to see a little bit more production out of AD, but it is what it is. Russ has been terrible. Russ, I think we've all been saying this for a long time, but it's pretty evident now that Russ needs to be in a different situation. I don't know how much of it is fit. I don't know how much of it is. I still believe Russ can still be a good player, potentially an all-star level player on a different team where he fits, but he just doesn't fit on the Lakers. Again, I don't know how much of that is fit, how much of that is his skill falling over these past couple of years because he is getting older. I don't know how much of that is the situation he's in, being in LA, being criticized so much. Because in LA, one bad game can have the entire fan base rooting against you. One missed shot can have the entire fan base rooting against you. So, I don't know how that's going to affect him, or how that has affected him, excuse me. But if I were them, I would have easily done that deal for Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, for Westbrook and the 2 picks. Because if you're the Lakers right now, you are in win now mode. You got LeBron and AD. You don't want to spend the last few years of a great LeBron not competing. And there's no point in tanking, right? There's no point in losing games. There's no point in being middle of the pack. You don't have your first round pick. And people may say, oh, in 2027, LeBron might not be there, so they're not going to be very good. He's probably going to be retired at that point or on to another team at that point, right? They're not going to be good. They need those picks. If you have a chance to go win another ring, you take that. Because once LeBron is gone, you're right, they're going to be bad. They're going to have AD, so they might sit middle of the pack for a couple of years until they decide to move on from him. But you have a real chance to win a ring if you make that trade. Because you get something you need, and shooters in Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, above average shooter for his position. You get some interior defense that you need with Miles Turner. Buddy Hield is not a bad wing defender. He's pretty good on the perimeter defending. He can also distribute the ball if you need him to. Of course, you have LeBron. He's going to be doing a lot of the distributing on the team. But, again, if LeBron's on the bench, Buddy Hield is out there, he can distribute the ball for you. Buddy Hield, he can also create his own shot when LeBron is on the bench. Because let's face it, as LeBron's getting older, he's going to need more time on the bench. Whether that be rest days, whether that be days where he just has less minutes, he's going to need that bench time, right? Alright, but I don't want to get too deep into this Lakers stuff. This could be a whole 10 videos by itself, but yeah, Lakers need to do better. That's really it. So, on to my last point, something I've seen from the Indiana Pacers, as we're talking about them right now. Um, Benedict Mathurin. He had a very bad game last night. Not even a very bad game last night. He started the game, I believe, 0 for 7 from the field, and then finished the game 6 for 9. His next 9 shots, he went 6 of 9 to finish the game. At 17, it was an off night for him, especially with how amazing his first couple games have been. He's now averaging, I believe, 22 points. I just saw it. He was averaging 24 before this game on very good efficiencies. Um, it was he was around 50 from the field and from three before this game. Who knows if this is his new norm and he was just playing out of his mind those first couple games, or if those games were his norm and he just had an off night tonight, or his norm is somewhere in the middle. Who knows? It's been, I believe, 4 games in his rookie year, so we'll see. But he has been great. I didn't know how he was going to be this year because of how many wings they have over there with Heald, Duarte, Mathurin now. But they've done nothing but impress me. And now Tyrese Halliburton, another guy we should talk about. He's averaging 24, 10, and 5 basically. I believe it's 24, 9.8, and 4.7, something like that. But come on, 28, 10, and 5. He is looking like the most improved player of the year. He's been playing great. He looks great. They haven't been doing too good in the win column. I believe they're 1-3. But they have played some pretty good teams that should be pretty good. But there's that. And I say he's playing at an most improved level. I don't think so far this season, he's not the most improved player. I believe that is Nick Richards. I believe I predicted him to win most improved this year. He's been getting the same minutes as Miles Plumlee out there. He's been playing pretty good. Don't remember exactly what his averages are. I know the other night he went 9 for 9 with 20 points, 11 rebounds, and a block. He's been playing great this season. His mid-range looks very good. And I'm just glad he's getting the same amount of minutes so far as Miles Plumlee. Hopefully at some point he can pass Plumlee and move into the starting lineup. He's definitely one of my favorite players on the Hornets. Dennis Smith Jr. has also been playing great for them. And I believe they're 2-1, maybe 3-1. They've been playing pretty good. Me as a Hornets fan, I was a little upset when I saw a lot of people predicting them in the 13, 12, 11 range in the East. But then I realized that means they had a chance at Victor Wembanyama. But now they're winning games, so I don't know if I want them to tank for Victor or if I want them to try to make a push at the play-in playoffs. I don't really know, but anyways, moving on from that. Speaking of two teams that looked like they were going to be the two teams fighting for that number 1 overall spot for Victor, the Jazz and the Spurs. Both teams are 3-1. The Jazz were undefeated until last night. They played the Rockets and lost. And the Spurs lost their first game to the Hornets, but then ended up winning 3 in a row. both teams playing some pretty good teams. The Spurs beat the Sixers, and the Jazz beat the Nuggets and one other team I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, they've both been playing very good. Lauri Markkanen has been playing amazing. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell have been playing great for the Spurs. It's really interesting how if this is going to affect anything for Victor Wembanyama. Because I don't expect them to keep this up for the entire season, but who knows? They might try and fight for a playing spot this year, but who knows? I think at the end of the day, they both really want Victor Wembanyama. Um, but specifically, I love the story of the Utah Jazz. You know, they traded away one of the best defensive players of this generation, um, and basically the man who was their offense, in Donovan Mitchell. So, weren't expected to do anything. Almost, almost strictly for draft capital too. They got Jared Vanderbilt back, and Lauri Markkanen back in those trades. Those were really the two big pieces they got. Um, and both have played great for them. Lauri Markkanen is looking like the best player on the team. Jared Vanderbilt, of course, a great defender. They've been moving the ball very well. Jordan Clarkson has been playing pretty good. Yeah, they're just a great story. Ragtag group of guys. Aren't expected to do anything, and so far they've been one of the best teams in the West. So it's great to see that. But I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. This video is already super long. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, everybody, peace.